Ah, and we're live already. We weren't quite ready. Hello, everybody. It's Caitlin here. And as part of SEO Loving Week, I am talking to some of my favourite students from the course. Obviously, I tell all of them that they're my favourites, but they are actually my favourites. And today we have Caitlin Peake. Hello, Caitlin. How are you?
Hi, well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Do you want to introduce yourself and let everybody know who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I'm Caitlin Wright. I am a copywriter. I call myself a website copywriter and freelance journalist. So my background is journalism, and I've been working as a journalist for sort of about 15 years. In the last few years, I've done more and more freelance work, and in the last year and a half, that's all I do. I just work for myself. So I sort of started off working with a few, small little clients and growing from there. So I've been doing a bit of communications consultancy. I've been writing a lot of articles and blogs and a bit of medical journalism and website copywriting, rewriting websites and that kind of thing.
Awesome. So very similar to what I did back in the day and kind of still do to a degree. So obviously you are in the most recent round of the course. And before you started the course, what was your understanding of SEO? Where were you getting your information? What did what was your level of understanding, I guess, is the question.
I felt like I had a reasonable understanding. I worked in a newsroom for many years at Yahoo 7, so SEO was pretty important with what we did. A lot of, when I wrote articles, I would have to think about keywords, and I actually even taught an SEO workshop back in 2012 or something. So, I felt that I knew a lot once upon a time. But the reason why I wanted to do the course was because I felt like SEO had moved a really long way from my knowledge, and I was just like struggling. I just couldn't keep up with it all, and I was listening to podcasts and I was reading articles, but I just felt like there was this big knowledge gap between what I knew and what I knew I needed to know. And it was just, I wanted to find all that information in one place. And I'd known about your course for quite a few years, and I'd been getting your blogs, and I'd done I think I did the 10-day challenge in about 2013 or 14 or something like that, or 15, I don't know, it was a while ago. And sort of last year, at the end of last year, when I was thinking of where I wanted to go in 2018, it kind of came up again, and I thought, oh yeah, that actually makes sense for my journey. So that's when I decided to enroll.
I think that's a really interesting point, because many people who come on the course already have some level of SEO understanding. Lots of people who've been on the course are actually already practicing SEO copywriters, or they're actually SEO consultants. And I guess even I, as an SEO consultant and someone who has a course, there is an awful lot of information out there. And although a lot of it doesn't change, you're always concerned that there are gaps. And you see that blog post that says 10 things you never knew about SEO. And you're like, well, I have to read it just in case there's one of those 10 things that I didn't know. Then you read it and you're like, oh, I knew them all. It's just the same stuff regurgitated. So I think a lot of people do the course for gap filling, and also for some affirmation that what they know is correct and that they were up to speed. And also, I think, for a plan, to have someone else have gone away, read the 500 articles, taken out the 10 things you actually need to know, and to say, this is what you actually need to do. That is what, that's what I wish I'd had my own course 10 years ago. Do you know what I mean? It's that you're buying. It's not necessarily, because as I say to everyone, and I'm very open about it, everything I teach in the course is freely available on the internet. There are no secrets. There is no magic juju. I didn't give Caitlin a secret code that enables her to beat Google. It's just the structure, the process, the priorities, and the accountability, maybe, and the support. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's interesting. So now you've done the course, were there any moments in there where you were like, wow, I didn't know that, or wow, I'm glad that I knew that, or what were your moments in the course?
You know what? From the first week, I had a moment of, oh my God, I'm so glad I did this course, because it wasn't just the SEO, it was the way that you set up the course to make me think of my business as a whole, like that unique selling proposition, which I never really thought about. And the whole point that if I don't know what my business means, how's anyone else going to know? It made me just start from scratch. Like, you know, I got rid of my website in that week, and I spent like the entire week just working on a new website because I was like, what? Like, my website was terrible. It made me realize that I need to really think about what I'm selling and who I am and what my strengths are. And yeah, from then on, I kind of have built it up from there, and it's just been like layers and layers of things. And every week I have a new epiphany of like, oh my gosh, why didn't I know that? Yes, of course, add that to my like knowledge base. So I think that was the main thing that I think I got was, that thinking about my business, but also the confidence to sell myself, and to push myself forward, and to put myself out there. I think that was beyond all the SEO stuff, which of course I learned all that, but that was the most valuable stuff, I think.
Yeah, I think that's so important. It's even a process I'm going through myself now, because I think even though you can be in business for quite some time, and even if you had a bit of a why and a plan and an audience outline when you started, you can stray away from it. You can lose sight of who your audience is, what you're trying to say, and how. And really, especially something we focus a lot on in the course is differentiation. You know, like what makes you different to everyone else? Because there are, as we know, Caitlin, 10 million copywriters. There's a new one born every day. And if you can't work out what makes you special, then you're all just a vanilla pot of copywriters. And that is at the very heart of all good search engine optimization, because only then can you understand what people are going to type into Google, what phrases you need to use, where you need to be marketing yourself, what links you need to be building. It's kind of the key. It's the key to unlock the door of SEO. So that's interesting. Yeah. I guess if you were talking to somebody who right now was starting their business and they'd heard about SEO, you can kind of get it. And they knew that, however, that it was important to appear in Google and rank well. What's some basic tips that you would pass on to them? What's some basic steps you would say if they're starting your SEO journey? Here are some things I would focus on in the first couple of weeks.
I guess I would tell them to look at, think about what they're offering, and think about the way that each of their pages could be broken down into different keywords. So I'd tell them, they need to look at each page separately, and how they best promote each page, and make it different enough that people can find their different pages using the different keywords, I suppose. I would tell them to, and I'd tell them to probably look around at other good websites and get ideas. That I think that's been part of my journey, is I've spent a lot of time looking at other copywriter websites, and I still always am looking at other competitor websites just to get ideas of what I want to do and what I could do better. I mean, it's not about being the same. It's about what I could improve upon and how I could make their ideas better for me, So I think that would probably be the things that I would tell them to think about. I think they're the main ones.
I think that's a really important thing, because I think it's something that people don't necessarily realize, that Google does look at your site as a whole, but they do look at each page individually. Each page, each post, each product is a chance to be at the top of the rankings for whatever keyword. And some people may only look at that page. So does that page work in its entirety? And obviously something that's pretty great for copywriters like us is that the content on that page has to be engaging, has to sell, has to warm people up, show your authority, build trust, and please the Google gods. As we say in the course, it's always humans first and Google second. And people think that the two things are not doable. Like, you cannot write copy that's SEO friendly and engaging. But I guess you'd disagree with that, wouldn't you?
Of course.
Yes, of course. Well, look, Caitlin, thank you so much for coming on and talking about your experience. I will share links to Caitlin's website under this. So if you're looking for an SEO-friendly copy, well, a friendly copywriter, but also someone who can write SEO-friendly copy, Caitlin's your gal. She's a graduate of the course and was, I think, one of the reasons I asked, I was pleased when you volunteered to do this is people who get the most out of the course are people who put the most in. You know, the people that do the work, that ask the questions. You know, like there's a lot of opportunity in the course to ask questions. We have like 12 coaching calls and the group, and you know, there's different ways of learning, and one of the best ways of learning is to try the thing, get stuck, and ask the question, and then you really get it. So I was really glad that you decided to do this, and thank you very much for being here today.
I did ask a lot of questions.
You did, and I answered them all, I think.
No, you did.
Thanks ever so much, Caitlin, and thanks for watching today in the SEO Love. We've got another SEO Lovin' interview starting at 12:30, so I will see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.